Hi folks, just a quick video here about some data I stumbled across today at the library. I was looking for a completely different book and actually stumbled across this copy of Selenographia. Now, the original edition of this book was published in 1647. This is a direct copy of that book, published in 1967. Only a few of the original copies of this book actually remain surviving to this day. But this is a direct copy of the original edition and contains some very detailed engravings of the moon taken on various nights. This engraving is from the 9th of November 1643 at about 6:30 in the morning. Now that's solar time, not the time zones we're used to. They didn't have time zones back then. But if you convert back to the way we look at time, it would correspond to about 5 hours universal time. So we know that the observer was in Danzig, and if we plug in 1643, November 9th, at 5 hours universal time in Danzig, we find that the moon should have been 12.62 degrees above the horizon, 5.42% full, and rotated 56.27 degrees from vertical apparent orientation with the illuminated limb facing down towards the horizon. So the question is, are these calculations consistent with what was actually seen 370 years ago? And so we're going to take the image. First thing we can notice is that the bottom edge of the image is off from horizontal by about 1.87 degrees. So the first step, we're going to fix that right away. We're just going to rotate the image 1.87 degrees to return it to the view the observer would have seen back in 1643. So that's the perspective from an altitude azimuth point of view, looking up, down, left, right. Now, from that perspective, the apparent orientation of the moon was, once again, 56.27 degrees from vertical. So to find out if that calculation is correct, we're simply going to rotate it back to vertical, 56.27 degrees. If we do that, we find out that it does indeed return the image to a vertical orientation perfectly. So indeed, the Excel spreadsheet does work all the way back 370 years ago in 1643. It's consistent with the observational data even back that far. And indeed, the tilted moon could be seen even as far north as Danzig, which is at 54 degrees north latitude. So that's perfectly normal, even back then. Hope you have a nice day.